I won't. I don't know. Hi.
Hello everyone.
So we're here today to try and sell you some makeup. You can buy, if you would like to buy some foundation, you can contact me and I'll sell it to you at a very high price.
Hey, hon.
Girl boss.
Oh, God. Yuck.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, we're here to talk about organization in terms of your physical closet, how you organize your own space, your Lolita space, and also how you organize your physical space or your digital space if you store any of that like, you know, in your folders, if you make spreadsheets, what kind of platforms are available for everyone to use so you can keep track and best utilize different platforms to suit your needs in terms of your clothing. So we're going to do introductions, and after that I'm going to talk a little bit about like general event stuff because I want to shout out Rose Foray and the Winter in the Woodlands event, and then after that we'll go right into talking about the actual panel. So hello, my name is Obsixwi. You can call me Obsixwi or you can call me Jessica. My pronouns are she, her. And I have been wearing Lolita for, how long have I been wearing Lolita?
Is 2012?
2012. Yeah. I don't know how to math. 8 years,
9?
Yeah. So that's how long I've been a Lolita, and I'm here to lend you my lack of knowledge.
Hey everyone, my name's Sarah. I also answer to Bread or Bread.First.Search. I've been in Lolita since about 2011. My qualifications are nothing. I like numbers. I like organizing things. I like numbers.
I love spreadsheets so much.
Okay, so like I'm supposed to use them at work and I absolutely hate it. Like I absolutely hate using spreadsheets for work, which is ironic given the kind of work that I do, but I love using it for Lolita.
So fun.
It's a lot of fun and I can't wait to tell you guys about spreadsheets.
Mm-hmm. So what are you wearing today, Sarah?
The same thing as you, and also my nail just broke off. we
were gonna do a whole like you need to go home and change thing, but her nail broke off, so
my nail broke. Okay, so I'm just gonna have one like sad finger. That's fine.
Fine. Okay, cool. So yeah, welcome to our panel. Before we get started, I wanted to say thank you so much for to Rose Foray for having us. Sarah and I are both on Bay Area K team. We've enjoyed the process of like working with for this entire event. If you have the time and you please go check out the website because they still are running the charity drawing. And if you make a donation or if you make an Instagram post about the fire awareness stuff, you can find that all on their website. You have the chance to win some amazing prizes from the vendors. Bay Area K has been working with the vendors on what we're doing in terms of like helping with this event, and I can say that they're all wonderful. Thank you so much to all of them for donating prizes for working with us, and I hope that they are getting a lot of like people going to their stores, and you know, I really appreciate everyone who's been helping to support the small businesses and artists that are not maybe doing the best during quarantine and pandemic. Like I don't know. So yeah, so please, if go check out the website, please, you know, enter the charity drawing because you can win some really, really amazing stuff. And I'm very salty.
Really good.
I'm very salty about not being allowed to win anything.
So someone else have to win for us. They're really good. This stuff's really good.
Mm-hmm. And right after our panel is going to be the fashion walk, and please stay for that because it's going to be very, there's a lot of looks and I've peeked at them and they're very good. So great, good. And people will also win prizes for that. Okay, so let's get started on the panel. I have to share screen. Boop, boop, boop.
Ella, how could you forget about the fashion walk?
Wait, what? You forgot about the fashion walk?
She forgot.
Present. There we go. So welcome. Here's my spreadsheet. Or sorry, here's the that they made. It's a presentation. It's not beautiful, but it is what it is. So first, we're going to go over your physical wardrobes, tips and tricks, anything in terms of like storing things when you have like only a small space, some philosophy, and then we're going to go into like fun with different platforms and spreadsheets. So here are some options. If you have a bunch of clothes and you don't have enough closet space in where you live, to store all of it, here's some options that you have when it comes to racks, and there's some pros and cons to each of these things. So a lot of people I know have the one in the middle, is like just an enclosed wardrobe. These are really good if you want to protect your clothes from the sun, and also a lot of times they'll have like extra drawers underneath so that you can store like accessories and stuff. If you're the kind of person who wants to have clothing on display, you can choose like a rolling rack, and these are good because they are portable if you have the ones that have like wheels. And also I love the idea of like being able to see your collection of stuff that you've accumulated, which
you paid a lot of money for all this stuff. Like you might as well display it if you have the room.
And you chose the rolling rack option, correct?
I did, yeah. So I actually have two rolling racks. I have one that fits my main pieces. So I have, a series of main pieces on a rack, and I tend to wear longer dresses, so they all fit and they take up most of the space. Mm-hmm. And then I have a second rolling rack that has two tiers on it, and on the top tier is outerwear, blouses and jackets and knitwear, and then on the bottom rack is all my skirts. And that actually seems to work out really well. They don't get in each other's way at all, and I get to like clearly see what's going on with each of those sections of my wardrobe, and I definitely enjoy it. Also, one more note about the rolling racks is that you can get like shelving that attaches to them. Like they make these like accordion like shelf things that open up and stuff. I don't have any on mine because I have auxiliary shelf space, but they're actually really cool. You put shoes in there. You can fold up cardigans and put those in there. God, you can put anything in there. There's a lot of options. It's really cool.
Yeah, and alternatively, if you don't want just like the small rolling rack, if you consider the rolling rack to the left, it is like a full size, like a lot of them have like double rows, so you can put 2 rows of clothes on them, and then you can store things on the very top of it, like shoes or bags, and you can store things on the bottom, so you have like multiple shelf options. And these are also oftentimes on wheels, so you can even wheel it around if you want. But you can see like the example that I have, it has like hooks for if you want to like hang up like anything that's like a hanging thing. So those are there's a lot of options when it comes to like different closet solutions outside of like an actual closet that's built into your room. Let's see. We're also going to be trying to answer any questions in the chat as they happen. So hopefully,
just feel free to ask stuff, and we'll address it.
Yeah, I like this idea of like also hanging your dresses on the wall. Another option is maybe if you like get like a mannequin, you can always keep like one cord on the mannequin, so that's up for display. That's also really fun. Okay. If you are somebody who has limited space when it comes to where you can keep your Lolita, here are some solutions for you. If you have a bed, I hope you do.
Put it on risers.
Yeah, put it on risers. You can buy like like you can raise your bed up and make space underneath, or even if you have one of those bed frames that like has drawers underneath, and just get one of those, or you can, if you have just regular like empty space and no goblins underneath your bed, or I guess if you have goblins, just ask politely if they'll share the space.
Yeah, they may want to sleep in the bins.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people sleep in the dirt like a little worm.
Thank you.
You can get like the bins, and then you can keep your stuff under the bed. If you live somewhere where there are seasons, please consider doing capsule wardrobes. You take you switch out your Lolita wardrobe based on the season, and you can use the vacuum seal bags to like keep them tucked away until next summer or winter or whatever. And if you have lots of jewelry, you can consider getting one of those mirrors that like opens up into a jewelry like storage unit and put all your
really pretty
there. So it's like dual duty. And yeah, just rotate your wardrobe depending on season, depending on what you're planning on wearing, if it's like hot or cold.
Yeah, everything else can go into space bags or vacuum bags or tucked away safely under the bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which, yeah, I know like keeping your Lolita, if you're someone who like uses all your Lolita all the time and you live somewhere like without seasons, then I don't really, you have
what?
with you all the time. I'm sorry. Like, you know. So here's some shelving inspo. The first few things that I have on here, I took from Tumblr back when that was a thing. But here's some really inspirational wardrobes to me, the way that they have, not my own, sorry. But yeah, in terms of like shelving storage, you can put like on, if you have like a shelf, definitely utilize that. Or if you don't have any shelves and you are allowed to put up shelves, or even if you are not allowed to put shelves, consider putting up shelves, because if you rent, you can still spackle the holes and pretend like that never happened.
Yeah, spackling is easy.
Yeah. So if you have shelves, you can use them for bags. You can use them. I really love this one from Chadwick Barrington. You can see in this photo right here where they have like the cubicles, because you can also put like different things into cubicles and they stack.
That's one of those foldy things. Those are so cool. I haven't needed one yet, but they're so cool.
Mm-hmm. And you can also use it for both your wig heads and also your hats. You can see on my example on the right, do I have wigs on there? I do have some wigs on there. I keep my my wigs on my wig stands, and I put hats on top of the wig, so it's like you are storing two things at once almost.
It's very efficient.
Yes. My mind is barely here, Mani, but you know what? It sometimes works. Rack City Bitch.
That's me. I'm a Rack City bitch.
Yeah, Rack City Bitch. On the left-hand side, you can see a beautiful example from Royal Kawaii on Instagram. If you don't follow her, please go follow her. She has amazing closet inspo, and she says that she's got 2 racks on like either side of her room. So she makes one kind of more like spooky goth. She makes the other side a little bit more sweet. So if you want to be able to kind of separate your if you're someone who wears multiple styles, maybe have like multiple racks to kind of separate those out. I'm not someone who's an expert in multiple styles, because I only wear black. I'm not sure how do you organize your shit in terms of like dresses and stuff?
So that example there on the right, I have my sort of like top pieces. So like on the far left of that rack, I've got like a parasol, and I've got like bustiers, and then blouses, boleros, cardigans, jackets. So it sort of goes like increasing warmth scale, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the bottom, I have all my skirts, and my skirts kind of touch the floor because I wear like much longer skirts than like the typical knee length.
Yeah. Oh, and you can see Sarah's example here on the right side.
Yes, I'm on my example's the right side example. And then I've got some shoes in front of it. And then I also have shoes. I made room for a little shelf off to the left of the rack. And so that way I can have pairs of shoes there. And I have my son, Captain Chris, up at the top with a pair of shoes.
Yeah. The way I organize my stuff, since it's not by color, is it's completely by brand. Full disclosure, I do have a walk-in closet, and because I have so much stuff, I have another standalone closet outside of the walk-in closet. So I keep all my main pieces inside the walk-in closet, and those are all organized by brand. And that's how I tell my black clothes apart, is I know where every single brand is in the closet. And so if I go to that section, I can feel it out. And then outside of the closet, I have my standalone, and that one has like 2 layers. On the top, I keep any kind of outerwear. On the bottom, I keep anything that's skirts or blouses because they're shorter. Except I think I keep a couple long skirts in the main closet. But yes,
That makes sense.
And if you are someone who wears color, which is most people, I know a lot of people who organize like completely by color, which is useful. And very aesthetic. Here's another thing that I love to talk about is owning hats. You can, as I said before, put your hats on top of wig stands. You can also clip them, as you can see in this left-hand example, you can clip them to like a string. This example is yours, Sarah.
Mine. I have a lot of very pointy headdresses. So I started hanging those on the wall. They're really pretty. I paid good money for them. I want to look at them all the time, and they're pointy, so I don't necessarily want to like store them away. So I honestly just have a series of clear thumbtacks pushed into the wall, and then I just hang each of them on the tack, including the hats to the right of the crown. So those hats are also on just a regular push pin, slightly at an angle, such that I can just hang the hat up there. I have another headpiece on top of a wig that's off out of the screen of this picture. And I think that's all my big hats. I have a couple other hats on an adjacent wall, but they're mostly like all stored out on the wall because I like to look at them and they're pointy and big and I don't want to squish them.
They're really good for wall decoration. And if you have hats that you want to keep kind of stored away and not on the wall, you can consider getting hat boxes because those stack really well. You can even keep multiple hats in a hat box, and then you can keep those on top of shelves.
I see a couple people talking about dust. This house doesn't get that dusty, but when I was living at my last place, it got pretty dusty, and so I'd have to kind of just like blow on them when I was going to wear them. But I haven't had that problem at this house, thankfully. So if you do have a place that gets a little dustier, then yeah, that can be a problem.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, yeah. And I don't know where this one on the right is. I think I saved that from like Tumblr or Pinterest like a while ago, and it's just really inspirational to me. I think it's cute. I love it. The idea of having like your hats and also your bags just like hanging up.
It's very cozy. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this one says, I use a filing cabinet for hats, stacking them sideways in a drawer, which I love that.
Brilliant. That's really brilliant.
Are these like flat hats? Can you say like, because I can imagine like filing berets into a drawer, especially if you're like a beret bitch like I am, if you stack them all like just like that.
Or hats that like nest into each other, like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Accessories. Here's some photos from our resident accessories queen, Mindy. If you didn't catch her accessories panel, you can find that on the J Fashion On Demand YouTube channel. She does a great job of explaining different ways to utilize different kinds of accessories. And here she has demonstrated her different ways of storing them. So yeah, there are different like jewelry stands that you can buy specifically for different kinds of jewelry, and we heavily endorse this. You can see here that these are like bracelet stands that are like, you can stack them all together. In this middle picture, she has all her necklaces separated out by like type of necklaces, and they're all hanging individually, and she's got all her clips here like organized by color. How do you store your accessories, Sarah?
I have, if I turn myself, in the back, nope, there we go, I'm good at directions. Behind that little lantern I have there, I have like a necklace rack. Mm-hmm. And so I have necklaces hanging there because some of them are a little bit longer. And then I also have this kind of like wood and glass display case in which I keep some of the larger brooches. I have a little tray of rings in there. It's not super organized where everything has an exact place, but it kind of keeps everything from roaming around the top of the dresser where I keep my accessories. And then I have the dresser in which I keep like belts, larger accessories like the larger brooches or hair clips, any head bows or flower clips, anything like that goes into the dresser.
Mm-hmm. For me, I have like a pin board where I hang a lot of my necklaces, and I like this because I can move a lot of things around, and that's also how I keep my headdresses. And for jewelry, I have like either a jewelry box or I have a skeleton hand that I use for keeping like rings, and it's got like a little tray for putting on like a couple of the like brooches and stuff.
That's so smart. That's so smart.
I just like skeletons, so I got it.
That's so valid.
Oh, here's Mindy. This is her
Mindy's
necklace.
here.
Hi, Mindy. Thank you for lending your imagery. Socks and shoes. Here's some more images from Mindy, a little bit in terms of shoe storage. This idea of like being able to keep your shoes in separate compartments is very, very cool. Otherwise, you can just use like a shoe rack. And you put like what, noodles in yours for boots?
Yeah, so I have paper towel, like naked paper towel rolls, and I have like a stack. I'm looking at this huge stack of them because my partner just keeps bringing them to me. And so I put those inside of my boots, and then I use that to stand them up. I don't know if you can see. Let me turn my chair another way. I don't know. I have boots over here, and they're standing upright because I have toilet paper towel tubes in them, and it makes them a lot more easy to display. I think they look really nice.
Yeah, and in terms of socks, if you're the kind of person who owns like printed socks or socks with designs on them and you want to be able to tell them apart easily, like folding them so you can see the pattern is very useful. I only own pretty much black socks. I just bundle mine up and toss them in a drawer. But they have these sock organizers and you can like fold them in certain ways so that you can see all the designs. And you like fold yours, right? So you can see the designs.
I do. I have them in a drawer, and so I can just open the drawer and have this nice like landscape of socks. And the true irony is that most of my skirts are long enough that like you don't see my socks between the skirt and the boots. You can't see them, but here I am with this drawer. So.
Here's a question. Since shoes get so dirty, do y'all clean yours before putting them back? Maybe it's where I live. Mine get dirty and muddy and have to wipe them down before putting them back. You live in the wild. So do you wipe off your shoes?
Oh God, me. Let me think. Sorry, I had like a brain fart for a second. I live in the wild. Do I wipe off my shoes? No, like, so I haven't like walked around like in the mud yet, like the intense mud.
Mm-hmm.
I walked around in Alice and the Pirate stripper heels in the snow earlier. No, I didn't wipe them off. If I were going somewhere like an urban environment or like a farm with like animal poop, I would probably wipe off the things that I display. But my shoes don't usually get too dirty because I just kind of wear them outside or like right outside my house and then inside again.
Yeah, like I probably should wipe off my shoes because that sounds like a very good idea. I don't because I'm disgusting.
Yeah, I think another thing too is that like I had been living in the suburbs and I would get in my car and go to a restaurant and then go home in my car. And so it's like I just didn't get a lot of wear and tear on my shoes.
Also, depending on if you even like wear your shoes indoors or outdoors, like I usually just only wear my shoes outdoors, so yeah. I just you know, in their little spot. Yeah. Okay, here's our philosophy. Additional thoughts.
Let's philosophize.
So yeah, capsule wardrobe's really useful. You don't always have to have like the largest wardrobe. It's not always the best thing to have the largest wardrobe. Have a wardrobe that works for you and your lifestyle. If you're trying to get rid of stuff and figure out like what you actually wear, if you wear something once, turn it around on the rack. And if you at the end of the year, for example, have a bunch of things that you haven't worn at all and you can tell because you haven't turned it around on the rack, then maybe get rid of it.
Mindy's talking about bags. I put mine on a shelf. So behind my laptop right now, I have a similar shelf. I have like a shelf of squares essentially, and I have a couple of handbags there. I don't have a ton of handbags. I have like sub 10 handbags, I think, and they're either on shelves or in my closet.
My favorite ones I've seen in terms of storage, I'm not a person who has a lot of bags, so I don't really have to do this, is like when people hang them up all in a row. I guess you could also consider like displaying them all on one shelf, or if you have like the cubicles, displaying them in the cubicles. But yeah, I feel like Mindy probably has more bags than I do, so I'm not sure if I can help you, Mindy. I'm sorry. But hold on. Pi is saying that, what did Pi say? In a shelf in a sliding closet above the dresses, which I think a lot of like racks and stuff do have. Most of the ones I've seen have like shelves above them, so that's a good place to put your bags.
That is a smart idea. I like that.
How do you store your head bows? I put mine all in a little basket and I line them up like vertically.
Oh, that's cute.
I've also seen people who keep them also like pinned up on the wall, or yeah, like filing them or pinning them up, I'd say.
I have an Alice in the Pirate shoebox that is inside of a dresser drawer, and I just kind of like neatly stack my head bows in that shoebox.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the best for like browsing, but it works.
Mm-hmm. Mindy's saying that they start getting dusty, which in that case,
interesting.
Maybe if you just keep a couple out for display at a time and keep the rest like just tucked away, I want to say.
Yeah.
Choose ones that you know you will remember to dust. Oh yeah, and if you don't have shelves, like I would say like get shelves. They're really good for, and if you don't have that much space, if you're like trying to utilize more of your space, like put up shelves or put up a rack that has a shelf so you can put things up high. In terms of bonnets, I don't have many bonnets. I don't think most people have like more than just a couple bonnets. So the way I keep my bonnets is I keep them on wig heads. If you are a person who has multiple bonnets and you don't have enough wig heads for your heads, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any bonnets, and if I did, I'd do the same thing I do with my like larger hair or head pieces, and that's to like have them on display.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bonnets are kind of, I think, display items, or either that, or you keep them in like a box,
like a hat box. Probably, I'd probably put it in a hat box if I needed to really put it away.
Okay. Also, more additional thoughts about making your wardrobe work for your lifestyle. I feel like there's a lot of discussion about, like in terms of minimalism versus like having a really aesthetic but like also maybe cluttered room. I feel like maybe there's pressure to do either of these things, and it's not necessarily like you have to try and achieve one or the other, right? Like you don't have to be. We're giving this talk about organization, but don't feel as if you have to be the most organized all the time. You are allowed to not be the most organized all the time, and that's still fine. And you're still like fine and Lolita, and you don't have to be the most aesthetic, right?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's at least some amount of social pressure to like have an area that matches your style or looks a certain way or contains brand novelty items or whatever. But this is your space. You don't have to share it with anybody. Apart from whoever you live with, you don't have to share it with anyone online if you don't want to. It's just for you, and it should be something that makes you feel good.
Mm-hmm, right. So it's like if you want to have things that are on display that you can view that makes you look happy, please have those things on display and so that you can be happy. But if you are more of a minimalistic person and you don't want everything to be like out all the time and you want to be inside, like if you don't want it to be like, viewable, then that's also a you thing, right? It's I don't want to pressure anyone to feel as if that they need to make their space look a certain way all the time. Right now, my space a mess. We're in a pandemic. I'm not cleaning all the time, and it's fine.
Yeah, like there's more important things than having your room look a certain way right now.
Yeah. Can Pink Princess Rosie, anyone have had a PAX closet? I don't know what a PAX closet is.
It's one of the IKEA storage systems. I've never had one. They look nice, but I've never had one.
I like that for like customization reasons. versus a walk-in or rolling rack? Well, if you're using like a system that is like from one company, then you're kind of stuck using that one, right?
Yeah, you're in their ecosystem.
Right. But if you like the option of like having customization and have it be like kind of like interchangeable, then I love that idea. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have any experiences with the packs.
Okay, so we have 30 minutes to go over digital wardrobe shit. So we're gonna blast on through this. Pinterest. Pinterest, I love for visually being able to see anyone's wardrobe, because you can organize by like type of item, or you can also organize by brand of item. And then if you want to make cords, you can just repin them into another board and you can easily make cords that way. And I really love that for being able to like easily see what items you have.
The cord board.
Cord board, yes.
Board.
And if you're the kind of person who's like very visual, I know a lot of people keep their wardrobes on Facebook. I don't love that personally because I don't think it's not as easy to move things around as it is on Pinterest.
Yeah, and it's not as easy to like adjust your privacy settings too. Like, I don't necessarily want people to be able to see my wardrobe.
Yeah.
You know how I spend my money. Judge me.
Yeah. I mean, some people want to show that off, and that's totally fine and valid.
That's true. That's a good point.
I like to like people's wardrobe posts, so you know.
I do love seeing a good wardrobe post.
Smart closet. This is one. These are all images from our another Bay Area K team member, Simone, Purist Maiden. She has an app called Smart Closet, and this is something that she introduced us to. It sounds amazing for utilizing it for Lolita. It sounds really good because you can keep things in your closet, and then you can also put in details about the thing, and then you can make cords using all of the items that you have uploaded, right? So you can make outfits, and you can also schedule outfits. So if you have a meetup, for example, you can schedule outfits in advance. And then you can also, using this information, figure out how many times you have used an item, and how much, and if you put in the price of the item, you can figure out what the price per use is.
Price
and
per wear.
A lot more information in terms of like data that I find like a really fun intersection between like being able to visualize your closet and also be able to finding out statistics about your closet. So this is an app. I believe it's free. If you pay, there are like extras, but I don't think she has the version that's got extras. I think she just uses a free one, and it gives you all this stuff that you're able to get out of it in terms of Lolita, being able to use it for Lolita.
It's really cool. I've been sorely tempted to start using it. I just have been very lazy.
And also another thing she said is that if you are someone who like moves things from place to place, or if you have something like in storage and you want to, and also stuff that's in like your main wardrobe, like if you have a very large closet, then there's also like a status of item where it's like you can say like where the thing is, or like what's the last thing you did with it.
That's fun. Really great. I love that.
So this is an app. It's on your phone. It's very fun, and it seems really useful. Notion or Airtable. These are both things are kind of like spreadsheets, with the additional fun thing is that you can like tag different things. So
it's basically like a UI on top of a relational database. They're pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is not something I have used because I just use regular spreadsheets. But if you're someone who wears like different colorways of stuff, or you wear like different styles, then you can also tag your different items for with each of these tags or styles. And then you can view these things with just those tags, which is super useful.
I have a template for a wardrobe Airtable I forget what they call it in Airtable, but a wardrobe Airtable template on my blog. We'll put some links out there if you want to use it as a template.
Yeah. So are you putting up links?
Links. I can bring up links. Ha ha ha. Let me go get that. Sorry.
Okay. I haven't been paying that much attention to chat, so I'm gonna look at chat for a second.
Okay, go for it.
So yeah, we have some people that are using Pinterest because they can move things around. That's the reason I've liked it. I liked when also another thing is you can share with other people and have them make cords for you. And that's kind of also really fun, especially right now where you know, a lot of people are doing remote twinning because we're in pandemic, and so it's just really easy to be able to like use someone's stuff and be able to like make cords. So it's like there's all in terms of, I think for Smart Closet as well, there is some kind of like social community aspect. So I assume there's a way to like be able to see someone else's wardrobe and make cords with it.
I love it.
So,
so I dropped the link to my Airtable template if that's something you're interested in. I think Airtable actually started charging recently or something. Like they changed their pricing structure and it's become less of a favorite for some people. So just be aware.
Sorry, Emma. I don't. but you started recently, and you know what? Don't you love it so much more than Facebook? Isn't it so much better?
We're gonna bully you more, Emma.
Oh yeah. So Artemis Argy here has a marker for in the mail sailing, and that's also like a similar like status kind of tag where you can figure out like where the heck your items are in terms of like how do you feel about them as items?
I love it. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Lolliberry, I kind of, it had a closet function and then it went away and now it's back and I'm very excited that it's back. It does not, in terms of like data, it's not going to give you the most data, but if you have a separate spreadsheet and you want to use this for like making sure you have all your links in your spreadsheet, then I would suggest being on Lolliberry and keeping all the stuff in your Lolliberry wardrobe, and so that you have all these just ready to go if you ever need to have links, you know, for other stuff.
Yeah, Lolliberry has definitely been an important resource historically. I think they're always looking for contributors, both archivists and developers, to work on the project. There should be more information on the Lolliberry website, but if you're inclined to help out, I think that's a thing they're always looking for.
But yeah, definitely if you want to be able to like save all your stuff on Lolliberry on one place, use the closet function, and then you can like see all your stuff on Lolliberry on one place, and that's fun.
Lolliberry is a good time.
It's the best time. Spreadsheets, our favorite. We're finally at our favorite part.
Hello. So I went on a bender at the beginning of the year and I made a spreadsheet for myself, and I also made like a template so that people can use it, because for me the hardest part of like starting to archive something is like making the template, making the format. So I made a spreadsheet and I had a lot of fun with it. I made it such that it's pretty extensible and that you can add different columns, you can remove columns. Like if something on my template you're like, I don't give a shit about that, you could totally take it out. You could also add things, but it still retains all the importance and the formatting and everything. Spreadsheets are fun because you can analyze them. So they're okay for looking at, like, you know, you can kind of scroll through and look what you have in your wardrobe, and that's okay. But where it really comes in is if you've been in the fashion for a while, or if you intend to be in the fashion for a while, you can really start to see trends over time. How much have I been selling things for? Am I selling them for retail price? Am I selling them for way below retail price? What was I buying in 2017 versus now? How's my wardrobe changed? It's really cool. And I think like for a lot of us, this whole EGL thing is such an important part of our lives that I like to see how I've changed over the years with my wardrobe. So I love using a spreadsheet for that reason. Yeah. Both for archiving what I have had, what I've owned, and what I currently owned, and also just seeing data, because I love doing that kind of thing. It's fun.
Sarah.
Oh, hello. I don't remember what one that was. Can you remind me if you're okay sharing? I love it. I love selling my stuff on Instagram because it's so much faster. I can just sell to like friends and like people I know. It's much better.
Friend discount.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is I always sell like cheaper on Instagram because it makes it all quicker.
So we're gonna pull up an example spreadsheet from you. Pivot table demo. We're gonna do a pivot table demo. So
it's the scary word. That's not actually that scary. But it's, let's see, Chrome tab, demo wardrobe. Okay, so here I have a demo spreadsheet. This is just, it's approximately like 20, I think, I don't know, 17 main pieces in a wardrobe of varying types and varying substyles. So you can see here there's a name, there's the brand, there's the date that it was acquired. This is all hypothetical, so there may be some discrepancy between the date something was released and the date it was acquired in the spreadsheet. So this
is just an example.
This is just an example, yeah. I like to store the source, the price, the type, like if it's a jumper skirt or a skirt. Any notes, so for example, like maybe there's a stain or maybe it's underbust cut or it's a long cut or something. If I am selling it or if it has sold and the date it's sold. So there's a couple flag columns, and what that means is that they're denoted with like an X or a blank space. And so here I have an X to say, yes, this is a print. And what that does is it doesn't help me visually looking at it, but when I analyze it using pivot tables or charts, that is a field I can pick up on, and it'll actually know what to do with it. And we can analyze how many prints do I have versus non-prints, or how do my prints cost me more on average? Do I have more Baby Starshine Bright prints versus 8 prints? So if you wanted to, you could, let's see, hide column. And so that way, maybe I don't care about looking at it, but I want it to be there. Do some analysis.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the JSK you sold was Sweet Addiction JSK.
Oh, okay. I remember that one. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. So down here, you see that there's one sheet for main pieces. In the real spreadsheet, I'll put a link to my template for that in a minute. But at the bottom on the real one, there's, one for shoes and socks and accessories and blouses, and, any way that you want to divide it, you can do that. And it's mostly just the same format spread across those sheets. But the cool thing about Google Sheets and Excel is that you can do some analysis on it. So I'm going to show you how to do a pivot table. Pivot table is a really terrible word. We were just having this conversation about like an hour ago. Like, pivot table doesn't actually describe what it does. But basically anything that you can do, maybe not anything. If you're familiar with using formulas to figure things out about your data, you can use pivot tables for it, and it's usually a little more intuitive.
And I don't use any kind of formulas at all on spreadsheets. I only use it for like visualizing certain things or like making tables. And I love pivot tables because I can take all the information that I've put in and get a bunch of information out. But you don't need to know, it's not complicated. You don't need to know formulas.
No, it kind of walks you through everything too. So you go up to the data tab and then you come down to pivot table, and then it's going to ask you what you want your data range to be. So this is automatically grabbing the entire main piece sheet, and I'm going to tell it to put it on a new sheet. Put the pivot table on a new sheet, and then here we go. So here's our blank pivot table. You see over here there's a series of suggested pivot tables that we could have it implement for us. You see the rows, the columns, the values, and the filters, and we'll get into what those are inside of an example. So let's start with one of these suggestions. Let's do sum of price for let's do sum of price for each substyle. So this is going to tell me how much I've spent on each substyle in my wardrobe.
So for example, if you're someone who wears multiple styles, you might want to be like, oh, like how much am I like Gothic Lolita versus Sweet Lolita? Right.
Yeah. Also, I can't see the comments, so if someone's saying something that is of interest in the comments, I can't see it for the time being because I'm on a single monitor.
I will let you know.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, so over here you see that it has populated the rows field with column F, and that is the price. I think that's the price. Yeah, okay, there we go. And then the values over here, which is the sum. Sorry, that's the sum of the price. Column F is the substyle. Usually it'll tell you what the name of it is. I don't know why it's giving me the letter instead of like the header. Because you see over here that there's headers here.
Yeah,
and usually
it'll populates. Meh.
Yeah, so anyway, and then if I wanted to add a filter, I could say, okay, well, show me the sum of the price for only things that I've sold. So let's say just things that are in my wardrobe right now. So for things that I haven't sold where it's a blank, show me that. And so this is that new updated total. Let's say we want to see what the sum of the price is for each brand. Okay, so let's get rid of substyle and we're going to add the brand row. And there we go. You can see of the things that are in my wardrobe right now, because I have that selling sold filter on there, we can see the sum of the price for each brand. And then if we wanted to do something like the average of the price, yeah, there we go. And that's the average price I've paid for a main piece from each brand. This is all hype. This is all like a fake wardrobe. So, I would love to go over more questions that people have or any other examples if anyone would like to see something different.
I'm not seeing any questions. I am seeing people saying that they've been avoiding pivot tables, or that they don't want to know. They don't want to know how much they've spent, which, you know what? Fine.
You know, I did this the other day for my wardrobe, and I was like surprised at how little I've bought over the quarantine. I was like, wow, I thought I went crazy, but I actually have been doing a lot better than I thought because I've just been like board shopping, honestly. I did a lot better than I thought. So maybe you'll be pleasantly surprised.
So do you want to talk about different information that you can log in a spreadsheet? Because
yeah,
that might be useful for different people. Because, for example, I don't have a color column. I don't need a color column, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But if someone else is someone who's like a sweet Lolita, or if they are someone who wears color or different substyles, you can. I really love the idea of being able to utilize spreadsheets to customize it for your own needs. So adding columns for substyles, adding columns for colors. I
like to see where I've bought things from. So for me, it's really interesting to see, did I pick this up from Yahoo Japan or from Closet Trial, or did I buy it on Lace Market? I really like seeing that kind of thing. So I store that. That, of course, you don't have to store. Let me see. On my personal spreadsheet, I don't actually have the substyle because everything of mine is either like classic or gothic or some space in between there, or, you know, sitting on top of the substyles. So that's not particularly useful for me right now, at least.
And Mindy's asking, what do you do when an item fits multiple substyles?
I don't know. That's a good question. You could probably. Oh, here we go. Here's a data problem. There's a technical answer, and then there's like there's like an interview question answer, and then there's like a practical answer. The interview question answer is a join table. Practically, I don't actually know because I haven't tried this on my own spreadsheet. You could add
another thing is, like, if you're using Airtable or if you're using Notion, then using the tags for this is a little bit more user friendly than being able to put it into a spreadsheet.
That is a really good point. Yeah. So if you have things that kind of straddle more than one substyle, tags, that's a really good way to handle it.
Another debate I've seen is, well, not seen, I have not seen anyone debate this. But I feel like when I started using spreadsheets for my own personal wardrobe, I started before I knew how to do a lot of spreadsheet stuff. So now I would change a lot of things of what it is now, but now I don't have the time or energy. And so before, when I had my own personal spreadsheet, I put everything into different tabs. And one of the tabs is like main pieces. Another one is like accessories. Another one is shoes, whatever, right? And now that I know a little bit more about how to utilize spreadsheets, I feel as if I wouldn't have different tags for that, or tabs for that. I would probably put it into all one giant master spreadsheet and just have a column for like type. So that way you could sort everything at once, and then you could use filters in a pivot table and like filter them out.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because if you have things across multiple sheets, pivot tables don't necessarily have the capacity to like bridge that. Like, it's not gonna, I think it's pretty difficult to get it to look at more than one table at once. You have to do some kind of fancy stuff. So if you don't like the idea of not being able to analyze your entire wardrobe in aggregate, then you should definitely stick to one tab.
Because right now, mostly what I'm analyzing is probably just my main pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really analyze the rest of the stuff. And I feel like I would be able to I would like to be able to like know how much I spend on accessories, for example, with main pieces, like without main pieces. And if you put everything in one giant spreadsheet and just filter things out, then that's a lot more. You can analyze a lot more than if you separate it by tags. Or
oh, you know what? I should talk about filter views. So let's hypothetically say that I just want to look at my wardrobe, and I'm not interested in doing any like pivot table analysis right now. I kind of just want to browse it and see what I've got. Well, there's these things in here that I've sold, and I can think, okay, well, I sold those, I don't own those anymore. But if I just want to scroll and look at things that I own, there's like, how do we want to do that? And the way to do that is, God, where is it? This is terrible. Here we go. Create a filter. So you can do a filter view. And so this is kind of like a toggle where you can turn it on and off. But let me just show you how to make a filter. And so let's filter on, oops, filter on the other one instead of that. Turn off filter, create a filter. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to put on the selling sold. We're going to come down here. We're only going to show blanks. And so now those things that I sold are not in there anymore. So I can kind of look through and just know I'm only looking at things that are currently in my wardrobe.
And also you can filter by multiple things at once, where you filter one thing first and then another thing like second, for example. Like if you want to filter by first all the brands, and then within the brand, if you want to filter by, or sorry, this is not filtering. This is
Sorting.
Sorting. Yeah, you can sort by like, for example, all the brands, and then you can sort by like type of thing.
Yeah, let's sort by brand. Let me see. Oh my God, wrong thing. I was like, why isn't it? Where's the sorting thing? Okay, there we go. A to Z. And then let's sort by substyle. So I want to see everything that's baby, but I want to see all the like sweet and gothic and whatever stuff. Why do I keep clicking on the header instead of like the actual top of the row? Okay, cool. Yeah, so here we go. Oh wait, this is all classic. Sorry, I sorted the other way. So this is all classic stuff, sorted by substyle and then by brand.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to be able to view all like one kind of thing and then like different sections within that thing, then sorting things is very useful for that.
So here I'm looking at the Gothic section of the wardrobe, and here are the two pieces from Alice and the Pirates that are in the Gothic section of the wardrobe.
Mm-hmm. So we have a question here that says, what are the best hangers for dresses?
Ooh, I like the velvet ones.
I have the velvet ones. I buy them in bulk. They do break kind of easily, more easily than like the regular plastic ones. I would never use wire ones. If you go to the dry cleaners, they give you a free wire hanger. Throw that shit out. They damage clothes. But the velvet ones I personally like just because they are not so slippy.
Yeah, they have a good grip.
Because they're aesthetic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Target has black velvet hangers that have black velvet and the hooks are black. So they're completely black. And that's what I use. Exclusively I use those.
No, that's what I need.
They're so good. They're so good.
Too late for me.
You just get them. Just get them and then, I don't know, sell the other ones.
Yeah. Oh, another fun column that I added recently for my, I went through like a late night, you know how it is, where you're like, fix my spreadsheet, and then it's like 4 o'clock and you're like, I don't know.
And you go do some spreadsheeting. I get it.
Anyway, so recently what I did was I went through and I translated all the things I bought from yen into USD, but I did it by what the conversion rate was for that year.
Ooh, that's fancy.
And so I had to individually do it per year and like convert everything. But now I have a column that says what everything is for USD for that year. And that way I can a little bit more easily assess like the total cost of everything.
Oh, I like that. You could probably write a script for that too. Sheets and Excel both have a scripting language where you can do more in detailed calculations like
not that fancy, so I did do it manually.
Like I have a hair now, like I have a bug and I want to try that now. Mm-hmm. So I might try it later after this panel. I might do a little scripting, late night scripting. We'll see.
Yeah. And also good practices for keeping these like this information is like just logging it as soon as you've bought anything.
Mm-hmm.
This question says, would you suggest wood if the flimsiness of velvet hangers bothers you?
The wood ones are nice.
Wood ones are nice. I personally would probably use them for just like outerwear, just because if you have a lot of clothes, the wood ones might just take up more space.
Yeah.
Yeah, but coat hangers, especially like the nice wood ones, are good for if you want to keep the shape of like your outerwear.
I see a scripting question, and Google Sheets has a scripting language called I don't know what it's called. I was like, oh, I know the name of it. I don't fucking know. This Google Sheets has a scripting language. Excel also has its own scripting language. And you can write some pretty powerful stuff that'll go through your sheet and do some analysis and spit out some answers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, but typically you wouldn't need this if you're just doing regular wardrobe like analysis.
Yeah, but if you're really interested, you could do that. If you wanted to use Python, export your sheet and stick it in the script.
Monty's like, I don't know any script, Monty. I am not a nerd.
She's
Sarah's the only nerd.
Don't include her in our debauchery and our horrible.
Another fun thing, this question says you could get cedar ones. Cedar is a wood that also naturally deters moths. So that's a good thing. If you get the cedar ones, you probably also can get rid of some bugs.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, hell yeah.
They sell like little cedar balls that you can like put in your wardrobe and stuff.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. I love that.
Here's a question. How often do you clean out your wardrobe, and what do you do to practice good wardrobe care, including cleaning storage units, storage containers, etc.?
I'm kind of constantly cleaning, like just kind of all the time. Like I'm just a constant chaos ball, and so I'm just kind of like constantly making a mess and constantly cleaning it.
I never clean.
You're valid.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize.
I don't know. I feel like, yeah, cleaning is a thing that you should do. Storage containers, I feel like because they're enclosed, you probably don't need to clean them that often unless
you're like clean the container.
It's really just dusting that needs to be done. Like if your stuff is exposed, then I feel like those things need to be cleaned a little bit more often. If it's inside like a airtight like unit, like if you've got like the storage like containers and stuff, I feel like those probably don't need to be cleaned that much.
No, unless like you've introduced a funky odor to it, but plastic usually doesn't hold on to odors like that.
Right.
Yeah, I think most of the time like the containers are pretty okay. I do like to air out my pieces after I like if they're in between washes, I like to air them out. Just I feel like that keeps them a little cleaner, keeps them smelling a bit better.
Like keeping if you like air it out and it's in like sunlight, you know, it does keep smell better. So this comment says careful with cedar if you own reptiles, which you do, Sarah.
Oh, little cinnamon. Okay, well,
stay away
cinnamon
from that.
That is good to know.
Oh, and Emma has lavender bags that she throws in with her clothes to make them smell nice.
Yeah, lavender bags smell great.
Mani's saying to not feed your reptiles your brand. That's a very important tip.
Cinnamon's a little brand whore, and I don't know what else to tell you.
And M switches out different sachets of like stuff for keeping together with your brand. So
that's really smart. I like that.
Clean.
Ah,
that's fun. I love that.
I feel like I should get some more sachets in my life because I love smelling things.
I only just got onto the candle hype. I'm liking it.
I've got a bunch of candles burning right now because candles are the best thing ever.
Any specific types of lavender bags? Emma, do you want to answer this question?
Emma, help.
Emma. I feel like you could just get it from any other. Oh, organza. Yeah.
Okay.
Which you can probably just buy in bulk from like wherever. Right.
Yeah, I think so. That's got to be like a thing. Yeah. I don't know that much about sachets, but it's got to be a thing.
This comment says, I take bars of perfume soap and put them in my drawers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Another thing I think I've read that you can take like slices of dried like lemon and also put them in drawers.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Emma said she's going to take a picture for Discord, so we'll get to go check the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. It looks like we're out of time. So thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you feel a little bit inspired to organize your wardrobe, or maybe you feel a little bit less pressure to organize your wardrobe. Yeah, I feel as if this is a fun thing to, I feel like sometimes I like to organize things to feel as if I have control over my life when I, in actuality, do not.
Also, like, we spend a lot of money on these clothes. Like, they're pieces of art. I want to look at them.
Yeah, that also. So, you know, if you have the time on your hands and you're not doing anything in pandemic, maybe make a cool display. Maybe, you know, put some stuff on your shelves, make it look pretty, and that'll give you something nice to look at because you're inside.
Yeah, just celebrate the stuff that you've already got and just enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, if you have any extra questions, specifically involving, if you want more tips in terms of like storage, if you want more tips regarding how to like format your personal spreadsheet, feel free to contact either of us. I am contactable on Instagram, or you can also @me on the Discord. Sarah is only available on the Discord. So you can go to the event Discord and ask us questions there. But
You
yeah,
send me an Instagram DM, it will just sit there. So
yeah.
all right.
Yeah, contact us. Let us know if you have questions. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this panel or if you hated this panel, you can let us know in the panel survey, which I think I can do that. I can do that, right?
Okay. Thank you for doing that.
Panels? I don't know. I'm not sure if it's panels or... Oh, okay, that worked. So yeah, we have panel feedback for every single one of the panels. Go to that form if you want to leave feedback for any one of the panels that you've watched or are going to be watching, because we really love your feedback and we want to know how to be able to make certain things better. And you know, we love data. This is why we gave this panel.
Numbers are cool, you guys. Everybody.
Yeah. So stay around and watch the fashion walk. That's going to be a really good time. And we will see you later. Thank you so much for...
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.